I didn't think I was gonna get this emotional. Ah. Okay.
That particular evening, he grabbed me, he punched me, I fell to the floor, he started kicking me.
I was kicked, I was punched in the face.
He just looks over and slaps me, like so hard. This side of my face like hits the window.
There were times you couldn't recognize me if you saw me. There were just too many cuts on my face.
And then he went into our daughter's room, woke up our daughter and said, I want her to see me beating her mother.
He was just watching. I could not breathe.
In front of the cop, I remember him reaching over to try and attack me.
I almost became a statistic that night.
I was married. I had one daughter. I was working at an insurance company full time, and life was good.
Everything was good, of course. We would go out, have fun together, you know. It was always us.
I was living with my ex-husband, and he was very abusive.
Constant contact, you know, texting throughout the day, just us all the time.
When I went to work, he would call me, where are you? Where the bus at?
While after, he just started becoming like jealous and possessive, especially when he would drink.
I hate you. I should have never married you. You can't cook.
I was scared to eat. I couldn't sleep. I was always like nervous.
I'd been in this abusive relationship for about 5 years. At this point, this was just another day. This was just another night. This was just another cycle. And I just didn't know how this time it was going to end.
For the next 7, 8 months, I went through a cycle of being stalked, being harassed, late night phone calls.
And it seemed like it was going to be an okay kind of evening. And I remember we were watching TV.
Threatening phone calls, him busting out my windows.
And just suddenly at random, I was laying on the floor. He was sitting on a recliner type couch chair and just took the nearby dumbbell and literally threw it at me, and it fell right onto my stomach. And I knew not to react.
I feel like I was locked in a closet. I couldn't breathe.
There were times I couldn't talk because the strangulation was so bad.
He proceeded to punch me with my hair wrapped around his wrist as he's driving.
And then he picked me up and grabbed me by my hair and smashed me against the refrigerator door over and over.
I'm thinking he must have beat me up for about an hour.
And I remember just kind of like squatting down behind the playpen crib area and putting my arms up and just begging him to please stop.
This eye was swollen shut at this point. So all I had was this eye, and it was starting to swell shut too. So I'm just like praying at this point, like, please don't let this eye swell shut too, because I'm a goner.
We had another altercation where he ended up stabbing me.
If the new year comes in and this is how I'm gonna live, scared to come home, I gotta go. I got to go. I went to speak to a lawyer.
I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't know where to go. As of that moment, I was now homeless.
He asked me if I have somewhere to go. I said, I don't have any family in this state.
I walked through the backyards to a payphone to call the police and call my mom.
I'm gonna call somewhere for you. And he called here.
The police officer took me to Interval House.
You know, our officers are good at responding, restoring order quickly, providing medical aid quickly. But the bigger picture and what happens after that is really where the partnerships with Interval House come into play.
She told me what to do, like go to court, get a restraining order.
They had such an action plan in place, and you just couldn't mess with it. And it was safety first.
When I came here, I slept. The first night when they came up and asked me how did, I said I slept like a baby.
And then how she could, you know, be my advocate during court, and we can see our options.
We were all there supporting each other, giving each other strength, sharing our stories, sharing our journeys. We cried together, we hugged each other, and we supported each other.
And they were ready to help and ready to bring you in, and at the same time ready to show you how much they cared. And that was so foreign for me.
I was loved here. They were my family. They treat me like a family.
She was just with me every step of the way, very supportive.
Okay, you woke up at 4, you can't go back to sleep. Call and speak to someone on the hotline. They're there to give you support, to talk you through whatever you're going through, to, like I said, validate your feelings, most definitely.
You have somewhere to go where other women have faced the same kind of trauma. It lets you see how they handled it, what they're doing, you know, what their process is like.
Interval House provided me with more than just strength. They provided me with support. They provided me with skills.
The counselors there too, they give you different ways of, you know, coping with it as well.
You come here, do what you gotta do, get your feet back on the ground and keep going.
But I wouldn't be here if it weren't for those dedicated women, those volunteers.
So I started volunteering, and 2 months later, I became a paid employee.
So now my successful experiences were, 1, I'm alive. 2, so are my kids. 3, I can work. I can get an apartment. I am worthy. I'm okay.
We can't make sure that people are following up and getting the help that they need. So building partnerships with folks that are good at that kind of thing is important. And when it comes to domestic violence, we work very closely with Interval House.
It's not even the words Interval House, it's the people within it.
I love the work that Interval House does in providing support and services to victims because it's so important.
Every time that I have an opportunity to help someone else is only because of the skills that I learned in those support groups, that I learned here at Interval House.
I feel hopeful and more knowledgeable, wiser, because I know now the red flags and what I'm not going to accept.
I'm eternally grateful for them.
I just really want to thank Interval House and Karen. And I just want to thank her for being a superwoman and for enabling me to be one too.
We are still women, and we are brave women.
I feel like an overcomer.
To my advocate, I say thank you, thank you, thank you.
I want to thank you for giving me my life back.
Because of you guys, I am the woman I am today. Thank you so much. God bless you all.